All right, welcome back to another episode of Listings and Lullabies, a girl dad's journey with your host, Varun Varma. My name is Vikas Sandhi, and we are here live for another episode virtually with a very special guest and family member. But I'm not going to steal the thunder. Varun, tell us who we got on the show today, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What is up, everyone? And a huge hooday to everybody. Week 1 win. Let's go. Ravi, you're from Chicago, which you'll tell everyone about. And if you're a Bears fan, we apologize. We've been there. We feel your pain, and we are there with you, brother. But yes, like Vikas said, we have Dr. Ravi Patel on the episode, all the way from Chicago here virtually to share his new journey of being a recent new girl dad. So congratulations, as well as a chiropractor and a founder of Club 5 Health, which we're excited to hear about. So without further ado, Dr. Ravi Patel, tell us who you are, tell us what you're about, and let's get started.
Awesome. Thanks for the warm introduction. Well, I was born and raised in Illinois, and then slowly started my journey to understand how health, how my passion can revolve around longevity. And then I completed my undergrad at Loyola, moved forward with my doctorate in San Francisco. And now here we are, started my entrepreneurial journey to just becoming a founder, understanding what this journey is looking like. It's been painful, but it's been fun, but also the fruits of the labor are now starting to show. So I think we're off to a really amazing start. Going a little bit more into my perspective on Club 5 and why I, began with that journey in the first place is to really fine tune how people can optimize quality of life. I feel like that is the biggest piece of health and living life that really matters, because if you're in pain constantly, or if you're not able to move, or if you're not happy, all those things change the game of how you're going to be pretty much living life. And my main goal is to really impact as many lives as I can to optimize their quality and then make sure they're happy. And also live longer too, because people are living longer right now. People are living past 100. And the goal is now to help people live beyond 100 with optimizing quality of life. And yes, I am a girl dad. So I just had her baby, and she's about 4 months old. So super excited about that.
Nice.
4 months old? Wow. It's already been 4 months. I mean, I know that's young, but my God, time is flying.
Time flies. Yeah, time flies.
Yeah, wow. It's crazy. What surprised you so far in this 4-month journey the most about being a girl dad? How diapers work, how they sleep? What surprised you the most? Because obviously you got all the advice, especially being in the Indian community. You get all the advice from aunties and uncles and all that stuff. But what surprised you the most so far?
I think the biggest surprise was to really understand that there could be so many different advices, but you're going to pretty much problem solve on command based on what's presented. And I feel like that's the biggest thing. And you could be prepped, you could be, analyzing every detail, but when that diaper is coming, you got to figure it out. I feel like everything is just so with the flow, where I feel like I've just learned to adapt so fast now.
Yeah. Yep. There's no advice, no preparation for all of that comes just thrown at you to figure
100%.
out if you're able to adapt, which sounds like you are, that you can be super successful in this. But yeah, no, thank you for that. That experience of what you've been through. We're excited to jump in even further about Club 5, your wellness wisdom, Fatherhood, the new chapter there. So basically, how has fatherhood shifted your mindset both personally and professionally so far in just the last 4 months?
My mindset has always been like hustle, hustle, hustle. And now I've kind of learned to take a little bit more of a step back and understand, appreciate those little moments and those memories that we're cultivating with my child and with our family as well. So I think that has been huge. I've always been super family oriented, but I feel like now more than ever, it has changed my mindset. But I'm also more focused on being more responsible too, because I want to be able to take risks, but not as many risks as I used to as an entrepreneur. But I think that's something that has changed drastically. So yeah.
I think that's a common response and common feeling from a lot of new parents, where they're like, okay, yeah. And it's great that so early on you're realizing like, okay, the balance is super important, figuring out where that is. Obviously on the entrepreneur space, like Vikas and I, we're all about hustle, 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 but then we don't want to miss out. And I think that's the whole change with the new generation of parents, is because, well, we don't have a lot of the same hardships our parents did coming in this country, things like that we've discussed on previous episodes. But great to hear that, yeah, just, you're still hustling, but you realize and understand the importance of being home, being around, being a dad, while still being able to grow, grow professionally and personally. So that's awesome.
And that sounds very consistent on the wisdom we've heard from a lot of other dads, right? And one thing I love to tell everyone, and Varu and I say this to you, and Ravi will say it to you too, just because from experience, um, those first 10 years are really what you really have the most of, because after 10, 11, like, they start having their own friend circles, activities, so much is happening, and you become a second thought for them. I know that sounds sad, but it's true. And so make the most of those first 10 years that you can, like as much as you can. So that's just one thing I would say as you're hustling and building Club 5, definitely keep that into consideration.
100%. I think
Yeah.
that's words of wisdom right there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Because even Ziana is a little over 2, and I took a selfie with her today and sent it to the family chat or whatnot, and everyone was like, "Wow, she looks so grown up." And I'm like, "Yeah, I spend about an hour to 2 hours just crying about how she's growing constantly, and just each day she comes home from school has changed. Her vocabulary expands. You're just like, wait, what did you say? How do you know that word? And things like that. So yeah, definitely great advice is just take a breath, take a moment, enjoy every step of this entire new journey that you're on, because it goes by quick, man. It's like, and it's weird for me to say that, because like I said, she's just a little over 2 years old and she's got a long phase, but I'm just like, hug me, don't let go. And I also think, like, when I grab her and squeeze her, sometimes she kicks and fusses, and I'm like, great, this is going to be in about 10 years where she's like, no, dad, get away.
Yep. Foreshadowing for sure.
Foreshadowing, things to look forward to, for sure. But no, that's awesome. So what's kind of been the hardest adjustment for you in balancing, dad life, business life? Because as we all know, the business doesn't stop, right?
100%.
The baby needs their feeding, the baby needs you, the business needs you. So what's been like that hardest judgment? How have you kind of overcome that, or working to overcome that?
I feel like in this phase of life now, I have a lot of team members are able to execute as well as we're expanding. So I think that has been a huge blessing on my end. But also, usually with our culture, we have grandparent support and whatnot. In my space, I really want to take that opportunity to really raise my kid ourselves with me and my wife. And I think that's something that I really want to focus on right now. So I've taken that opportunity to take a step back and then really see where both of us can create this opportunity where we're not forced to be on a 9 to 5 job situation, where we're able to take the time off when we need to, but also take the time during the time when she's sleeping or when our baby's sleeping, and then just figure out what we need to do. So that's kind of been the most creative opportunity on my end. But also sleep is one thing that I'm really lacking at this point.
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, exactly. It's, figuring out that balance, and, taking advantage of the time you guys have together still, the three of you, and then having the team is the biggest support factor, both at home and in business, for sure. Because yeah, without Bavisha, my wife, and without my team at the office, it would just be
Yeah.
madness. You would just go crazy and one thing would suffer. So it's huge if you've already realized that and adapted and figured that out so early on, because I know some parents we've spoken to, and even myself, just kind of just figuring out where to be, how to do it. Because you can always work, you can always be a parent, but figuring out that balance is always huge. So nice. So let's talk about Club 5 Health, wellness world, because everyone right now is super wellness focused, and I think it's key that you're involved in that, especially on the chiropractic side, because as Vikas has a very close friend that was a chiropractor and got into the health and wellness space. So yeah, let's jump into what inspired the launch of Club 5, your mission, and tell us a little bit about all that.
We started Club 5 in Green Bay.
Okay.
And when we started Club 5, it was pretty much in the first version of like, how can we create technology? How can we optimize technology? And then bring that in from all capacities. I was a young entrepreneur. I didn't have a proper credit line, or either any kind of backing to go into a crazy aggressive business.
Yeah.
One thing that I did have is parents who are pretty well off. So they have had a great backup on my end, just in case, hey, if I take aggressive risks, if I fail, I always have them to lean on. And that's huge because a lot of people don't have that.
Yeah.
And in my perspective now, the risk I've taken like, crazy, like, bank statement loans, like revenue loans, where it's like 20, 30% interest, which is probably illegal at this point. I don't even know if it's legal to even charge somebody that. But I've done that to buy really ultra high end equipment. And when we started using that equipment, I was pretty much on the sword. So this first year in business was like, okay, am I going to survive or am I not going to survive? Like, nobody would invest in me. I would go to an investor, be like, hey, can you help me out? I have an amazing idea. Like, no, this is too far fetched. It's not even realistic. I would go to the banks, same thing. They're like, no. But what I've learned is I have to prove this into a real model concept where you can use it, feel it, visually see it. And then people are able to comprehend what I'm saying. So that was the journey for the first year. It was a lot of learning lessons for me, even like understanding financial literacy, like what's working in the real world, what's not. And then as time progressed, God bless, we were able to pay off those loans, scale faster, and then we ended up buying the entire building. And this facility is not like small; it's like a 20,000 square foot facility, and that's where we started off. So you have a full athletic chamber where you have like a lot of fitness equipment. You have biohacking modalities. You have an entire big IV room with stem cells, exosomes, NAD plus, vibroacoustic chairs, hydrogen therapy, hyperbaric oxygen therapy, anything you could possibly imagine. We have everything in this one facility. And it took time for us to, cultivate that with understanding what modality combined with another modality really enhances you from a cellular level, from a physical, functional level as well. So those are the things that we've quality tested. And then with our final product, our patients then became our investors initially. So that's one of the biggest things that I've learned is like those clients that came in, we took care of them. They understood what this actually means. I never had to go to the bank after that. And then once everything started scaling, then we started using different investors, private equity, and all that stuff to start scaling then.
Sorry, I just wanted to jump in. So present day, where is Club 5 Health all at? What are you guys working on and stuff right now?
So right now we have a full-fledged location in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We have 2 new locations coming up in construction right now in South Barrington, Illinois, Glencoe, Illinois. We have another one opening up next month, actually in Club Greenwood, which is Greenwood City in Colorado. There's another one coming up in Illinois, which is a franchise model, a little bit of an offshoot for just pain management. It's called Pain Stop. So this entire franchise is being cultivated off of that Club 5 umbrella. So that one is more focused just with pain management, pain relief, our technology that we've produced. It's changing the game of how fast we can promote cellular healing and then sustain it for a longer period of time, also from a diagnostic standpoint and also from a healing standpoint. So that's kind of where we're at. The next thing is expanding out franchise opportunities. So we have 3 or 4 locations contracted up from a franchise standpoint that are building out in Texas, Arizona, and Wisconsin as well. And then we have another ground up build out coming in Arizona as well for a Club 5, which is probably going to be open in a year and a half. And then we have a 25 unit expansion plan in Northeast right now.
Wow.
With
That's huge. Wow. That is awesome. Congratulations. So what is your role in all the expansion and scaling? Because this seems monstrous in what you described. So yeah, share more on that.
It's definitely monstrous. The goal behind this was to figure out how we can have these verticals being placed, but also each vertical complementing another vertical. Like, for example, the technology and the manufacturing that we have, each technology that we produce, majority of it is in-house. So the data that we can extract, the trends that we can correlate is really emphasized on evolutionary for every single equipment combined. But now we can take these trends and take like the human response to cells, to data from the diagnostics, and really change how we can evolve this entire concept over time as well. And now more than ever with AI, we're able to compute data at an astronomical perspective. So that's kind of where that angle's at. And now as we're figuring out these different franchise arms, the data arm, the equipment manufacturing arm, every single thing is multiplied with a stream of revenue. And the end goal is to combine this entire package as a nice entree dish for anybody to take and scale. Right now, we're, I think, at the first initial phase of scalability. We're looking to scale to 50 to 150 franchise units in the next 3 years, and then the corporate units for C5 in the next 5 years up to like probably 15 to 20 units, and then also have an insane amount of like growth for our B2B arm from the equipment manufacturing. Everything that we produce, either it's franchised into our network or either we're doing B2B along with Club 5. So that's what's kind of playing all at the same time.
Wow. That's yeah, that's awesome. Congrats to you and your team on that success so far, and we hope that it reaches, you know, that goal of 150 spaces. So you're in the health space, business space, real estate space, you know, construction,
Manufacturing space,
franchise.
research and development. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Is this kind of what you envisioned when starting Club 5 Health, or where did it start? How did it get to this level? And yeah.
Initially, I just started with a passion of like, hey, how can I help people fast? If I was practicing, I'd probably impact 50 lives. But now, from globally, like nobody's taken initiative to really dial in technology. And if they are, they're only specific into one sector. They're not like looking at everything as a whole. So I took that time to really like evolve the entire model. And I feel like right now it's still evolutionary. I feel like there's so much in the next 5 years that's going to change, where the model is going to keep evolving. And I don't ever think that there's a set plan that we're going to really have. It's always going to be ever changing. So I think that's something that I feel in the next 5 to 10 years. I mean, even like I've seen like robots and a lot of things that are able to take the technology that we have and implement it from a real life standpoint, like massage therapy, laser therapy, and all that stuff. Like I've seen real life robots with AI like doing that. So that's the next phase of technology that's coming into the mix right now.
Wow.
It's insane.
That's awesome.
Robots are coming.
Yeah. Yep. I've got the Tesla one on pre-order.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Awesome. Man, so how are you applying your health knowledge into, you know, surviving early parenthood, and then maybe what's one or two wellness hacks for other busy parents? You have any?
So that's a big question. So one of the main things that I've learned is like, okay, we have the opportunity to be more in-house, but if we manage our time wisely, we can cook. We don't have to eat out as much. So the more we cook, the more we adjust our diet, the better we are able to like fine tune what we're eating, the cleaner that we're eating, and then also now the less we have to do outside of the box. One of the biggest things is like we have an EMS suit. So this entire suit is able to pretty much, you're able to wear it. It's nice, it's athletic, and normal day-to-day functions you can use that with, or even working out with it. So you're able to like really emphasize your neurodevelopment while whether I'm holding the baby, because I'm still using my muscles, right?
Yeah.
Or whether I'm like walking around with the stroller or lifting the stroller, putting in the car. All that stuff is a workout, technically, if we think about it.
Right.
And it gets tiring. So when Manali or I, when we're doing it, we're always like wearing this suit. And that way we're emphasizing not just like, you know, muscle growth, but also like making sure our muscles are staying active, because this suit is able to tether your nerves to contract your muscles and relax your muscles during the time of contraction and relaxation. So that's where we're able to use this. And then, you know, we take trips to Club 5 as much as we can, but majority of the tech we have in-house. So I'm able to use the shockwave if I get injured. If I'm like, being more proactive, I can kind of test my tissues and see where I need to start fixing things.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed, this is one of the craziest things I've noticed. My left shoulder never gave me trouble. But the minute I'm holding an eye out all the time, it's like, okay, there's a problem here, there's a problem here. My entire like body's like sore and it's tight. So these are the things that I've kind of started noticing, and I have to start impacting it right away. So more manual therapy, the lasers, and then the hyperbaric chamber is another big thing to just kind of calm myself and keep myself like grounded. Because with the baby crying, with the communicate. I mean, here's another thing that nobody talks about. When you have a baby, everybody focuses on the baby. But what about like the husband and the wife? Like that entire scenario is another communication that just literally just changed because of the whole third person in there. So I feel like that's something where both of us have to like kind of relax and really think about what's going on, and then ground ourselves to make the best out of it. Because everybody has a scenario of like, okay, there could be a fight just from like just not feeling the best, and you can just be like aggravated some days, and you can be hangry or whatever. So I feel like the hyperbaric chamber helps me just kind of relax and get my thing like just focus. And then obviously with the hyperbaric, you're bringing more oxygen to your blood plasma, so you're able to think clearly, and your brain is a lot more like oxidized. So those are the things that I'm using right now. But yeah.
Nice. So I need to order a couple of those chambers, because I can countless arguments of just being hangry and just tired, annoyed and things like that. So and a good point on time management to help, cook at home, be healthier there. So a lot of great points. So in growing the business, scaling the business, how has becoming a dad influenced the way you now lead or grow the business? Have you seen any changes there?
I mean, now that I'm able to understand how life looks with a kid, I'm able to comprehend how busy our patients' lives are when they're from, that entire area of 30 plus to almost 65, I guess. You're looking at constant moving pieces with kids, multiple kids, family. So I'm able to kind of comprehend how that looks. Like, Vikas, like when I saw you come to our house with Ovi, I didn't realize how hard it was. And I'm like, holy cow. And now I'm able to kind of understand that, and how I can then cater to my clients, That's one of the biggest pieces.
Yeah. Yeah. Becoming a parent definitely changes, because Vikas will tell you I was the biggest shit talker for sure when they had kids and I didn't. And I was like, whatever, who cares? And then now I'm like, no, I want to be around, or I realize the struggles. And it's also appreciating that we're getting, like, we were in Chicago a couple weeks ago for Labor Day, and we were the only a couple of parents that had the kids with us. It was for my brother's 40th or whatnot, but it was so heartwarming to get messages from people to say, hey, and these were people that also have kids themselves, but they just saw us not struggling, but they saw what we were experiencing, and it's nice to kind of be in touch with those people, and then also get feedback from others as well. So now you're in touch with your patients on a deeper level too, in terms of not of your health knowledge and experience, but your personal life experience now too. And I'm sure that's appreciative from the client too, because you know exactly what they're going through, and you will be, have experienced that or experiencing that in the future. So nice. And now, kind of thoughts on scaling and all that stuff. Has that changed or become more motivating now with having Anaya?
I think so. I feel a lot of those pieces of like, how she's always looking at me the minute like I'm in the room. So I feel like another big thing is she's going to look forward to kind of being mentored by me at some capacity, right? As a parent. So I have to be in my A game. And I feel like as I'm growing the business, as I'm looking at different problems coming in, problem solving it, I feel like that has definitely come to mind, where I have to keep pushing so that way she can see this. As I was younger, I've seen my parents work and I've seen them grow. And I feel like that's what's motivated me to becoming who I am right now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to definitely create that foundation for her, so that way she can follow something, and then obviously take her creativity to the next level of what she wants to accomplish.
Oh,
Nice.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Love that. Love that. And now, based on what you said, are you feeling a lot of pressure to kind of do it all? Obviously understanding that yes, you will be her mentor one day and she's watching you, she's learning from you and all that. Are you feeling that pressure at all? And how are you managing that, or what kind of tips do you have for others that might be feeling that?
I think I'm definitely feeling the pressure from both angles.
Yeah.
Like I had this instance yesterday. Like right now, I don't know if you can hear, but she's crying, and my attention's kind of going there.
Yeah.
But she has these episodes where she's just crying, crying, and then she has an upset stomach based on the formula that she's having. But with that constant crying, it kind of does get to me, and then I have to like kind of step away, and then my wife kind of comes back and is like, here, I got her for a bit, go do your thing, and then come back. And then we're able to kind of like go through that. But I feel like just watching her in pain in some capacity does get to me. And that emotional piece kind of starts rolling out. But I feel that's something that I'm like internally working through right now. And I think if you have any advice, Vikas, for shoot, definitely.
The main advice I have if they get fussy after eating is gripe water, but I'm pretty sure you already know about that stuff. Indians definitely know about, fennel with water, something. I mean, that helps. When we had Ovi back in the day, they made these anti-gas tablets that you could give kids, and they worked like miracle. And then they got recalled because there was some infancy deaths, and we were like, oh my God. And so they got off the shelves. But yeah, you all unfortunately don't have those to help you out with.
I should start with gripe water. I haven't tried it out yet, but I probably should.
Oh, even if you don't want to make it at home, but buy the store brand, like the store bought one. I mean, we saw, obviously each family's different, each kid, but gripe water helped Ovi after, taking formula and stuff a lot. Like it did help.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that's the medicinal advice. In terms of the emotional and mental advice, I mean, I went through that a lot as well. And what I'm going through right now is attachment. Ziana has a lot of attachment to Bavisha right now, just motherly attachments and things like that. And that's really something I'm struggling with internally, because you want to be there. You can't support Ziana. And then hearing her cry, not being able to give her something. What I've learned is that it's kind of part of the journey, but still staying there, being in the moment, because they see you, they feel you, they know that you're there, but they may not need you or want you, and obviously can't communicate to you what is the true problem. But just making sure that we're staying there, and it's definitely easy to get frustrated, but staying calm, staying as a partnership with your wife to know that, whatever pain she's in that moment, she'll get through. She has both of you, and being supportive to her and with yourself and to your wife and vice versa is definitely the way to kind of just work through that. Because when just the crying process of it, hearing her cry, not being able to change that moment, but her knowing you're there will give her that comfort down the road, because she'll know that she can always see and know that her dad is always there with her, regardless of what pain or process she's going through. So
100%. Yeah.
That's great advice, Varun, first
100%.
off. Second off, I would offer up some of your own advice that you all have already gone through, and that's trust the process of, like, you've read so much, you've done so much, but once you're in that situation, Ravi, when we talked in the beginning, like, you just figure it out, right? And I think, trusting your gut human instincts that you have already embedded in you from your ancestors of being a male or a dad or vice versa, like mom or whatnot, like trust what you believe in those moments and it'll all come natural to you, and now you're way more intelligent than us in the sense of like knowing what medicinally might help or health wise what to look for. So you're well equipped, but yeah, I would say trust your intuition. Your intuition is going to be your guiding light.
Well said. Yeah. Point
absolutely.
taken.
Yeah, and yeah, you've got a village. There's a huge importance of community when raising the parents. Even with grandparent support, we've been super blessed to have grandparent support. But I get it. You want to raise the child yourself. That's your daughter, your offspring, your flesh. But yeah, that's huge to be able to have the support both personally and professionally. To get you through this. So. Um, let's do a little bit of fun stuff, some lightning round things. What do you say? What do you say?
Humanize everyone here.
Yeah. Okay. What's one word to describe your fatherhood experience so far?
Responsibility.
Yeah. Yep. There's a lot of that is to be had for sure. um but yeah, it's part of that process and journey for sure. So what's the worst diaper disaster story you've had so far?
Okay, so we just got a new car. It was the new Cadillac EV.
Okay.
We just put a new car seat in, so I was kind of getting the rendezvous on how this works, and then we had a big fat blowout. And then once that blowout happened, I was driving, and then when I was in the back, she was like, "Yo, this smells. This is what is going on here." And then what happened was, okay, I had to pull over, so I'm like, I'm on the highway. I'm like, hold on. It took me 15 minutes to get off and pull over, and this time the entire car seat is like yellow, gushy, mushy. And then by the time we take her out, or we bring one of the seats down, we have this entire like scenario where we have like this plastic thing that you can change the diaper on. We bring her
Yeah.
out and she pees. While we're changing her, she pees, and then
Oh,
everything's everywhere.
dude.
So
Oh,
that was the
man.
biggest chaotic experience of, yeah, the diaper
Yep.
situation.
Yep. That is your come to parenthood moment for sure.
Oh God.
That
Oh
is
yeah. There's
that's
gonna be many
hilarious.
more of those. Many more of
Oh,
those.
for sure. Yep. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, wait till you start potty training and they just take the diaper off and there's some poop in there already and you're in the middle of the rug. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh,
It's crazy. It's crazy. What is one thing you hope your daughter learns from you?
entrepreneurship.
Okay. Nice. I feel like that's a common
Yeah.
response
Uh,
from entrepreneurial fathers for sure.
yep. Yep.
Because there's just a whole different world out there. Like my conversations with Bavisha is obviously okay, yes, college, things like that. But the other side of that is, Vikas and I obviously didn't finish college, not obviously, but but did not finish college, but we went that entrepreneurial route. And obviously you have medicinal background. So you clearly finished college, went and got your education, your, MD, things like that. But entrepreneurship is still a world that you can do separately or jointly, regardless of your
Yeah.
schooling and completion there. So that's great. I think because also I think for me personally, having a woman with entrepreneurship skills, I think, is a super tremendous value in addition to already the value add that she will have.
Yeah.
Um,
Amazing.
because it
Yeah.
can just give them more power in different settings, whether they are in, a career that's required to have college completion or education, or it is starting your own business and growing that. So yeah, I can definitely 100% agree with that for sure. So.
And I've seen some of my partners that are female and that are leaders in the space of like operations, whether it's investment strategies, financial strategies. I've seen them just kick butt, and I'm like, wow, like this is the way, and the way they communicate, the way they're thinking. I feel like it's also hardwired differently with like a male and female. So I
Yeah.
think the opportunities and the creative minds that both parties that would bring to the table would be completely different. So yeah,
Absolutely.
I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think just to build upon what you all have been saying, um, I think the future generations are going to be more intrigued with entrepreneurship as a whole versus like maybe our upbringing with the amount of like resources AI, um,
Yeah.
families that are already in entrepreneurship as well. And just knowing the kind of like landscape, I think we're, you know, a lot of our families and your daughters and our kids will lean on that path, you know, going to college, get that foundation, but then building upon there as well. So that's really cool that you said that because you can control your own destiny that way, man.
Yeah, the choices are huge because like my parents when they were building their foundation, they only had two options. You have to either work or you have to either build something and then kind of have like a self-employed business, which is not real entrepreneurship, but it is something that's like self-employed where you control the metrics.
Yeah.
And then with your generation or my generation, when we came out to be like, I feel like we had a choice of like, okay, learning from all these things, the literacy just completely changed. The availability of information completely changed. So I feel like we had a huge opportunity to create that choice for us, and our kids are going to even have a better opportunity. I feel like just because like I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like there's so much more information out there in the next like 5 to 10 years, and I feel like it's changing. And a lot of people, even from a social standpoint, they're going to school. The younger kids are going to school. There's a whole different avenue on what they want to do, even when they're in the school. I feel like it's not like specific like job centric anymore, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, the creator economy came in the last 10, 12 years, and now it is huge, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, awesome. That is a great thing, and we have the utmost confidence that you'll be able to provide and help her learn that world for sure. And then final lightning round: favorite quote you plan to live by if you have one.
A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Wow,
a
beautiful.
journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Is that correct? Is that what you said?
Yep.
Begins with a single step, but yeah, same thing.
Yeah. That's awesome. Clearly,
Honestly,
you've had that part of your life for a long time. Do you want to share kind of how that came about?
So that quote is from Robert Frost, but what I really want to focus on is how that resonated with me.
Yeah.
I always used to be in a personality trait where I'm always like just jumping to the solution or jumping to the find end game of this is what it's supposed to look like.
Mhm.
But I really didn't understand the fruit of everything is in the journey, the skill set that you build, the things that you accomplish slowly, steadily, and learn. And I feel like that is the actual journey that is supposed to be lived and nurtured, because once you're at your destination, it's just a destination. You know what I mean? So, and most people get either scared of the destination or either get scared of the journey, but the journey is supposed to be the fruit of it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
see, I can already tell that everyone's in entrepreneurship here because we're all saying a lot of the same things that you had to learn and go through and realize, right?
Yeah.
That is,
Absolutely.
oh yeah, Ravi, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, fantastic, fantastic. No, this has been a great conversation. We appreciate you making the time. Vikas, before you take us out, where can we find you, follow your journey? Where can our listeners, get a hold of you? Let us know.
So, a couple things. Definitely take a look at our Instagram. There's Club 5 Health. There's Dr. Ravi Patel. We also have a TV show coming out. It's focused on a journey that showcases people optimizing their health, showcase our technology. It's called Beyond 100.
Okay.
It's going to be on Inside Success. We have a couple shows also coming out on Amazon Prime and Apple TV with a lot of different entrepreneurs as well. People from Shark Tank, people that are already an artist or a pro player. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities with that. And we're also creating a lot of content on all platforms. So any version of Club 5, Pain Stop, or my own personal brand, you'll be able to find a lot more content. And then just kind of showcasing the logo right here. It's a Roman numeral 5, combining all of the pillars of wellness. It's chiropractic, integrative health, holistic health, fitness, and physical medicine.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice. Awesome.
Fantastic.
Any other takeaways, Ravi or Varun?
I think I learned a lot about just reconfirming a lot of things, but also learning great advice from you two on, what this journey looks like. I'm going to probably take a look at more of the different like podcasts with other people that are on this show. I feel like I want to see what what their strategic points are as well. I think it's a great learning perspective on my end.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate to have a lot of different people on our podcast. I'm going to send you a couple things as a thank you as well. One in that will be included in that is the Girl Dad book. We were fortunate enough to be connected to an author of that book, and it was a perspective from the daughter. And it was really cool. We did an event with her, Madeline Anderson. She's fantastic. And then, yeah, a lot of the other guests we've had have different perspectives. We've actually had a girl mom on who is just a rising star. She's a pediatric neurosurgeon and a very close friend of ours as well. So there's a lot of things that we are trying to offer through this podcast of just kind of sharing the journey, sharing the experiences, and how we can all collectively become better parents, but obviously girl dads as well. Obviously I'm now a boy dad, but the whole girl experience is so different to us, and that's where this all came from us. So yeah, we'd love for you to check out all the other episodes and yeah, just gain a piece and then share your feedback with us. And thank you again for coming on. It's exciting to hear about your journey, and then exciting to watch you grow as a girl dad. And if there's anything you need from us, and I would say my biggest takeaway from this is just to just give confidence to anybody out there in the sense of becoming a parent, becoming a girl dad, that you've got a dad of 2 and almost a half-year-old, a new girl dad, but who's had success. And you're not even 30 yet, correct?
No, I'm actually 32.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, 32. So, but very young in the stages, and you're now implementing the business that you've created into your girl dad experience, and then also taking that back into your work to connect with your patients, and focusing on the biggest thing that's important to all of us is our health, so that we can stay parents for a long, long time. Right. So that's my biggest takeaway is the confidence and the joy I get from seeing other successful entrepreneurs and successful girl dads in such an early journey. So we appreciate your time and energy, and we're excited to stay in collaboration with you and help you grow.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Cool.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, Ravi. First of all, Dr. Ravi Patel, everybody. Varun, thank you so much. And thank you to all of our supporters, listeners, and past guests. This is another episode of Listings and Lullabies, A Girl Dad's Journey. Don't forget to check us out at girldadspodcast.com. We also find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and of course, follow our social channels, Instagram and Facebook as well. Thank you so much, Ravi. We wish you and the family all the best. We are a resource here. We're all in this together. Thank you, everyone. Peace.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.
Cheers.